Welcome to a follow-up on the wonderful ABUS Pfaffenhain lock that I picked open and investigated in my last video. It's the one with the additional side pins, and the task for this video is to make a working key out of this blank. You can see this blank has already cut or drilled the side dimples, so what remains to do is to make the cuts for the regular bidding. And as I only have one of these blanks with the side dimples in it, I will take special care not to mess it up. So let's get started. So first thing to do is to mark the positions where we have to file down the key to get the bidding, and therefore I have clamped in the key in the vise so it's safe and tight. And now we need to find the centers of the plug chambers. And in order to do so, I will first mark or paint the blade of this key black with a black marker and let it dry. Let it dry, let it dry, let it dry. Alright, now I think it's dry, and I put the plug on the key and hold it with my finger so that it doesn't slip away, so that's very important. And now I have prepared a drill bit covered with tape so that I don't scratch the surface of the chambers. And I now go in every chamber and try to get a mark on the blade of the key. So hold the plug against the key so that it doesn't slip away. Use this drill bit that fits nice and tight in the holes. Have it covered with tape to not scratch the surface of the plug chambers. And we will hopefully see some nice marks. Alright, so here we go. We can see all the marks. Next step is to use a file and to make it just a little bit deeper. So we can clearly see all the marks on the key, and now I will use a triangle file to make little cuts at these positions as a guide for the actual bidding. So let's start and be very, very careful. Okay, all the pre-cuts are done. Now let's check if we made a good job. Okay, so here we go. I'll push the plug against the key and we can see that all of these marks are pretty nicely centered. So we can continue from that. So now it's time to file the actual bidding in the key. But the question is which file to use. I have 3 candidates. The file with 4 sides, the round file and the triangle file. And to answer the question which file is most appropriate for the job, we need to know the angle of the tip of the key pins. And I made a magnified picture of this pin and measured the angle to about 110 degrees. So most appropriate is then, of course, the file with 4 sides. This gives me an angle of 90 degrees. And to correct it, I will finish it up with the round file. I hope this goes well, so let's get started. I want to start with making the cut for the first pin chamber. So I put the plug on the key and insert key pin number 1. When I now push on the pin and try to get the plug away from the key, I can feel resistance, which is a good indication for the mark to be on the right place. So we want to get the pin down to clear the shear line. Let's get started with filing. Here is my 4-sided file and I can nicely feel the cut, and so I start filing. It's a little bit deeper already. I want to check how it looks like. Yeah, it's not wide enough, so I will help with my round file. It's better. Always remember to push the plug all the way to the stop point, and you can now see how the key pin starts to get down. That's good. So I will continue. Okay, we are already there, but I want to see if I'm still centered. So I mark the cut with my black marker, let it dry, and see where I can find the mark of my drill bit. Pretty good centered, very nice. So let's continue filing. Okay, we're getting really close, and I will leave it like this for now, because later on we have to make slopes here to make the key go in and out more easily, as you would see them on other keys. And yeah, that's the downside when you don't have a file with the right angle. So I will continue with the next chamber. Alright, same game here, but this time the key pin is shorter, so we have to file away less. And again, this seems to be pretty good with the pre-cut position. So only a little bit is left to file away. And we're almost there. Again, I leave it like this and continue with number 3. Okay, so here we have to file a little bit more. Let's check if the position is right. Yes, it is. Okay, and so it goes on and on and on. So all the cuts are made on the key, and that's how it looks like now. You can see 5 and 6 didn't have needed to file a lot. So if you have short key pins, take care not to file away too much, otherwise you've got a problem. So let's dig it in and see how it clears the shear line. It's a little bit stiff. Alright, it's almost flat, but of course we have a problem, the key won't come out. And yeah, we will work on that pin chamber by pin chamber. Let me dump out these key pins, and we will start with pin chamber 1. So only key pin number 1 is in the plug, and key won't come out. And that's because we have a very steep cut here. So we need to take a file and file this away, file the peak away. As long as you don't touch the valleys, this will not cause any problems. So let's see if this has improved the situation. Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's still a bit sticky, but you can see it goes in to the right direction. So let's continue. Okay, I'm done with filing away all the picks. You can see it now inserts and removes very, very smoothly. That's how the key looks like now. Not quite like a factory cut key, but it works pretty good. So now you can see the shear line is not quite clear, and we can check this by trying to insert the plug in the housing, and it stops here. So we have now to carefully file away for every pin chamber just a little bit, one by one, to get it really, really smooth and flat. So I'll be back with a final result, hopefully. Alright, all is done. The Bible runs smoothly around the plug. And you can see the shear line is really flush, everything nice and clear. Key goes in and out very smoothly. What remains to do is to deburr the key with my new brass brush, rotational brass brush. Then I will reassemble the lock and will be back for a final picture. Okay, plug is done. Let's continue with the drivers. Okay, now the Bible is also completely reassembled. Now let's put it back together. So the shim is in because there is a wide gap that I want to bridge. So I hope this works well. Remove the shim. Insert the clip. Now the moment of truth. Oops. Yeah, it works. It's a little bit sticky now. It works very nice and smooth. Finally. And the key, does it come out? Yes, it does. Very, very nice. Alright, so that's it. Key is done. Working lock back in working order. Thanks Talon Pick for the fun. Picking, analyzing and making a key. Great. So, thank you very much for watching. Happy picking. Cheers and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Haha.